Give it a few seconds. Okay, hey Pete, you guys ready? Alright, well I'm going to switch that when you see that transition off the next swirl. You're on. Just throw that thing and come back. Alright Pete. Yeah. So we're going to go straight into the old shed. Yeah. Right on. Come. Yeah, it's good.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Maitland Sports Ground. Well, we're not at the Maitland Sports Ground, actually at the Curry Sports Ground here for this afternoon's clash between the Western Suburbs Rosellas and the Maitland Pickers. It's been an interesting half hour here at the Curry Sports Ground. Of course, the Western Suburbs Magpies usually play out of Harker Oval, but throughout the week we've had a lot of rain in and around the New Lambton area, pretty much through Newcastle, and that game was forced to come up here. So what we might do, we'll go through the team shortly, but throughout the season we actually came up here to the Curry Sports Ground and we went on a tour of the Old Boys Shed. It's an interesting little piece. Let's take a look now. Well, here we are in the Curry Old Boys Shed and with Curry's Jeff Holgate. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Mate, an unbelievable experience in here. Talk us through the memorabilia on the walls.
These two jumpers here, back in 2 years ago, we decided to honour our previous grand final sides. This is the 1945 side, with a couple of our internationals played. They won. This is our 1993 side, won 20 years ago. The idea is that each year in the last home game, the side plays in these jumpers, and then we auction them off after the game. And it's a fundraiser for the old boys. They raise about anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 we raised each year. Yeah, so the players come back, sign it. This side here, 1945, we had three of the old players were still alive. Noel White was our oldest, he's the oldest living kangaroo in Australia, and he made it. Viv Madge and Bob Laverick, they were all here that day. Since then, Viv Madge, probably our greatest player at Curry, has passed away, but Noel's still going. So the same will happen this year. We'll honour the 1994 side at the last home game of the season.
And mate, as we walk through, good old Johnny Sattler, what a legend.
Yes. 2 years ago in 2012, we named the grandstand after John. This jumper here in the red, white and blue was the jumper that John played in when he was at Curry. So the first grade side played in those jumpers for the day, and we auctioned some off. This jumper was the prime one, it was framed. Our reserve grade coach, in fact, Tony Hindmarsh, bought it at auction for over $1,500 and donated it back to the old boys, and that's where it was. It's been up on the screen. John Sattler bought Ron Coote, Mike Cleary, and Bob Honan, and a number of other South Sydney international and players he played with come from the day, and they donated this to us to hang up in the shed, and that's been there for the last couple of years. John's been down a couple of times. Obviously he was down for the Team of the Century, which we'll talk about in a few minutes, and any event we need him for, he'll come down and help us out.
And of course, John Sattler, the grandstand, for the viewers that may not be aware, is also named after him as well.
Yes, that was the occasion. As you can see there, 30th of 6th, which is just over 2 years ago now, the John Sattler grandstand. It was a big day for everybody, and we had an enormous crowd come and celebrate the day for him.
Oh, you've got a tremendous setup here, and the memorabilia just keeps on coming.
Yes, 4 years ago in 2010, we named our Team of the Century. From a nomination, if you see up there, was we selected about approximately 43 players from our history, and it was defined down to 17 players and one coach. In that side there's 10 internationals, including John Sattler, Gary Sullivan, Jeff Marsman, and the Lumsden brothers. A bit of trivia of that, we've got 17 players in the top 13. We had 2 internationals never made the top 13 because we had 2 international hookers and 3 international wingers, and they couldn't all fit into the same side. So It's a pretty impressive side. So again, there's signatures. We had a marvellous night. Each of the players got a jumper. We auctioned off another set of jumpers for everybody, and then we kept these ones as memorabilia. This one over here is our internationals jumper. With all our internationals who were alive at that time signed all the jumper for us, and we auctioned off those for different costs.
And of course, on match day, this room is available for everybody to come in.
Well,
or
it's
just the members?
just basically the old boys members during the game. So they pay an annual fee to be a member of the old boys, which basically the old boys is the major sponsor of the club besides All Fabs. And then on game day, everything's happening. They watch the game, have a beer behind the bar there, and once the game's over, it's open to the public. We have our presentation here with our 4 grades, and everybody's welcome. They'll normally finish by about 7 o'clock. So it's also used by primary schools and our junior minor league clubs and different other functions. It's not an old boys shed. It's a public utilities building which the public use.
Yeah, no,
fantastic
fantastic idea, and mate, thanks very much for doing that.
Okay.
I appreciate that, and all the best on Sunday. How do you think you'll go against the Scorch?
Oh yeah, I think we'll go well. We've showed much improved form the last few weeks, and the Sestock win was a big turnaround. You know, so hopefully we'll be able to match it again with the Macquarie on Saturday. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yep. And welcome back to the Curry Sports Ground. Great insight there into the Curry Old Boys shed. Of course, Curry, they're not running around here this afternoon. We're here for the clash between the defending premiers, the Western Suburbs Rosellas and the Maitland Pickers. And of course, if West lose to Maitland today, Souths are the minor premiers. And so there's a lot to play for here this afternoon as we welcome Josh Leeson from the Newcastle Herald to Bar TV. Good afternoon, Josh.
Good afternoon, Pete. Great to be here, mate. Thank you.
Mate, there is a lot happening. A lot of talk around the ground right now about Terrence CU. Mate, fill us in on him. He's not playing today, and tell our viewers why he's not playing.
Yeah, I was just told a few minutes ago that he's actually at a buck show today, and there was talk he might have still been playing until about half an hour or so ago when he's contacted the club official to say that he won't be here. So considering he's their star player and I'm guessing their highest paid player, I'd say it's pretty amazing that he's not turned up for the last game of the season. I know it's a dead rubber, but I mean it's still a real NRL game. It's a first grade game, and you'd expect your best players to be here, especially when they're being employed to do so.
Yeah, so interesting situation unfolding there for the Maitland Pickers, and especially their number 9 Terrence CU, and of course this is PJ Ellis's last game today as captain coach before 2010 premiership winning coach Noel Dent takes over at the helm next season. Josh, I think today for all Western Suburbs fans tuning into our telecast, they've not just got a win today, but they've got to rack up against the depleted Maitland Pickers here this afternoon by the sounds of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's plenty to play for the West boys. I mean, they've been in terrible form lately. I think 4 losses in the past 5 weeks. The minor premiership is on the line, and I know talking to Craig Miller during the week, he's pretty focused on getting these boys to the minor premiership and I suppose getting a bit of form, getting back to the way they were playing a couple of months ago before the semi-finals, because all the other sides heading into the semi-finals are in pretty good form, and but West haven't been. So I mean, they really need to not only win this game, but I think get back to a typical West performance, I think. Yeah,
well, we spoke to Craig Miller actually throughout the week, and he said, it's obviously a real need for them to win, a real win for them also to be desperate, committed, and they need to show more passion, which he said that they've been lacking in the last 6 weeks. So I guess what he's saying, Josh, he wants more enthusiasm and a bit more mongrel in his side for them to be pretty dominant in the semi-final series. And, of course, they need to show a bit more arrogance maybe as well heading into the first or the second week of the finals, whichever way it goes today.
Well, there's no doubt that the changes with Barney heading off to Cessnock and also the extended rep program are all starting to come back and haunt West, I think. There certainly are internal problems there, I think. A lot of people are denying it, but I think there is a bit of trouble brewing there, but they've still got a quality roster, and that's the thing. There have been some great players there. They've lost a lot of experienced players like Matt Thirst and Joel Penny to retirement last year, and Jermaine Ale, their captain, is out injured for the rest of the year. So that's been a big loss, but they're still a quality side, and if all these guys can get back on the same page and play the way they were again, I still expect them to be a major threat and probably the favourite to win the premiership.
Okay, well, on that note, let's go through the Western Suburbs Rosellas side as they come out onto the field, led out there by Tafua in the front. Fullback is Justin Smith, Callan Richardson, and also Ryan Lamb on the wings. The centre pairings of Simon Williams and Steve Gordon. The 6 and 7 is Jade Murray and Brad Murray. Jade Porter and Brad Murray. Mark Tafua in 8 from the Cronulla Sharks, of course, in the off-season. James Wolford, Ryan Petro, Warren Shillings, Peter Mannion, and Lucas Miller. The interchange for the Rosellas this afternoon, Mark Farrer, David Dryden, Liam McKenna, and in jersey number 20 this afternoon is Jake Finn. Well, let's go through the Maitland Pickers side. As we said, a stack of changes for them. At fullback, we have Doe Nickow. On the wings is Ryan Lacey and also Josh Morrison. The centre pairings of Dan Rendell and also Elliot Jennings. The 6 and 7 is Chad Solomon and Luke Clydesdale. The 8 is the big bopper, Temu Charlie. The hooker is Jared Smith. The 10 is Dan Metcalf. No 11. The 12 is Jaden Rosberg. PJ Ellis, as we mentioned, playing his possibly his last game for Maitland. We're not quite sure, are we, Josh, if he's going to keep playing as a player next year. We'll get to that throughout the call as well. And on the interchange benches, Tyler Carter, Pat Robards, Killen, Bradley Stewart and Nico Pete will go into jersey number 19. Well, the Maitland Pickers are on the field. It's the Curry Sports Ground. It's the last premiership game for the Tui's Cup in season 2014. Our referee is Ryan Walters, touch judges Greg Ryan and Greg Ricketts, and we're underway. And the Rosellas will get first use of the football through Callan Richardson. He picks the football up and he's going to be crunched in the tackle there, about 15 metres out from his own goal line. Back it comes to Tafua. He runs into Robards, and over the top there is the captain coach in PJ Ellis. He'll get up and play the ball when the defence gets off him. Wolford sends it back on the right-hand side, and they're up towards the 40-metre line in their first set of 6 here at the Curry Sports Ground. Back to Mannion. Up over the halfway line he comes. And the Western Suburbs Rosellas, not a bad start for them. They're on the 4th tackle and they're about to go over the halfway line there through their lock forward in Lucas Miller. He's been crunched there by PJ Ellis and Robards. He'll get up and play the ball. We've had a minute gone here on the Bar TV scoreboard. Comes back then out of the kick. The kick goes downfield. Where's Doe Nickow? He went the other way to get the ball. And now there's a bit of an error here at the back, but the referee has said play on, and the Pickers, Josh Leeson, have the football about 12 metres out from their own line, and getting up to play the ball there was Josh Morrison.
Yeah, good call by the referee there. Looked like he did fumble a little bit, Josh Morrison, but he just picked it up just before it hit the ground. But yeah, nice first set from West. Yeah, I think they got their look like they're starting pretty well today, and look like they've hopefully put those handling errors from last week behind them. But I know getting through the sets is going to be very important for Coach Miller in the opening half.
They're 20 metres short of the halfway line. Ellis now sends it back to the left-hand side. They've juggled it. They've lost the ball. Goes back then out to the 12 in Peter Mannion. Joined West in 2006, and he's on the tackle. Alan, back on the first, about 31 metres out from his own line. Wolford now sends it back to the left-hand side. This is Ryan Petro. He goes charging into Dan Metcalf, and they wrap him up along with captain coach Ellis. Wolford now, he finds Tafua. He crosses the 20-metre line, runs into Robards, and they bang him down there, led there by Metcalf. They're on the 3rd tackle. Wolford now. He sends it back to the right-hand side. With the ball is Murray. Murray goes wide at a Porter. He goes short there to Mannion. He's lost the football. First mistake of the day for the Western Suburbs Rosellas, Josh. 10 metres out from the Pickers goal line.
Yeah, it was a bit of a poor pass there from Porter. He's a bit low and put him under a bit of pressure from the incoming defence, but sort of get back to the depleted Pickers side. I mean, there's a great opportunity today for a lot of their younger players here to get their first crack at first grade and really make an impression in front of incoming coach Noel Dent to make sure they're a part of the side next year. So, yeah, plenty to play for them still.
Okay, now the Pickers have the football, 10 metres out, driving defence there by the Rosellas, led there by the 11 in Warren Shillings. Of course, he was the lone try scorer for Western Suburbs against Macquarie last week when the Rosellas went down by 26 points to 6. Here's the first penalty of the match going to the Maitland Pickers. They'll have the opportunity to bang the ball in towards the commentary box area here and find the line up around the 40-metre mark. So if you just tuned to Bar TV, you're with Peter Jolly and Josh Leeson from the Newcastle Herald. And of course, you'll be able to read about this match in Monday's edition of the Newcastle Morning Herald. And then, of course, online at theherald.com.au is now Robards. He takes it up over the halfway line. Still going. What a run there by the 15. He'll go inside the territory of the Rosellas by 10 metres. This is Ellis. He sends it back to the left-hand side. They cut out one. They're going from one end of the field to the other. And Jaden Rosberg takes the tackle there of Mannion. Sloppy played a ball. Don't know if he got boot to the ball as he played that, but the referee here this afternoon in Walters has said play on, and he runs into the defeat of Mannion. Back across down to Ellis. That ball's gone out in front of about 2. Play on, picked up by Clydesdale. He sees a gap. He sees the line. He kicks the ball. Ball will go into the in-goal area. And Steve Gordon throws it over the dead ball line. Goal line drop out here for the Rosellas, Josh Leeson.
Worrying signs there for West. That looked a little bit too easy, didn't it? Clydesdale got through with a little run and a nice little kick. So a bit of pressure here for West early. Interesting to see how they deal with it.
First real opportunity to go on the attack. And they've come up with the perfect result. We've had 5 minutes here at the Curry Sports Ground. The kick went 45 on the fly. And now we see Pat Robards taking the tackle there of Mannion. 40 metres out from the line. Ellis goes himself from dummy half. Picks up the 12 in Rosberg. Still going. Put away there by Lucas Miller. 0-0 the score on the Bar TV scoreboard. Comes back to Solomon. He cuts out one. Finds the 10 in Metcalf. He goes out wide. Back down to Charlie. He offloaded the ball. They're keeping it alive. And so far, I guess they haven't got much to play for except for pride. Meanwhile, West, if they lose today, Souths become the minor premiers. Back to Clydesdale. On it comes to Carter. He goes hard and straight towards the in-goal area. He's falling down 10 metres short. Ellis in a dummy half. Which way will they go now? He's going to put the right boot to the ball. Callan Richardson. Will he get the ball? He does. He's got to play it. He's got to get back into the field of play. Oh, good run into the field of play, Josh Leeson. Callan Richardson by 5 metres. Now they pick up Justin Smith, and he's put away there by Robards.
Needed that, Callan. I think last week he fumbled a probably an easy kick and it resulted in a try for Macquarie. So that'll be a bit of a confidence boost early for him to get out of the goal there and back in the field of play.
Well, Craig Miller has said attitude is your defence. And he's not happy with the side's defence. And he pins that right back to attitude. But I guess if you're a serious threat to the premiership, you've got to do those little things right. Otherwise, they'll get burnt in the final series. So here's those little things. They've just put it down right on the halfway line. And they're blowing up. But it's just gone forward, the referee has said. So Maitland Pickers just having a chat. Let's have a listen. It's going to be a West feed. We know that. Rosberg blowing up. He's just saying, our referee in Walters, I've explained the situation.
Yeah, it looked like there was a hand in there from the Maitland guys. Reached out when Wolford was trying to pass it out of dummy half, so he's ruled that he's knocked it forward out of Wolford's hands, which, yeah, probably a fair call, that.
The Rosellas, in the last premiership game for 2014, they've averaged 26 points in attack, conceded 16. Inside the Maitland Pickers territory they are. By 5 metres. Who wants it now? Comes back then out to Mark Tafua. Gets the legs pumping and takes it down inside the 30-metre line. Right-hand side they approach. This is Lucas Miller. Hard to put away. Robards is in everything so far for the Maitland Pickers. Clutching at the back of his head there, Lucas Miller. Wolford. Porter. This is Mannion. Still going down inside the 10-metre line. Wolford now, 23-year-old from Young, of course. Nephew of Simon Wolford. This is Miller. Good tackle there.
Great tackle.
21 metres out from the goal line. Opportunity not gone. Here's the little play from Murray. Looking for his 4 in Gordon. Think he's lost it. He has lost it. So last tackle I think you'll find there, Josh. So I'll get the ball back here. 10 out from the Pickers goal line.
He nearly reeled that in there, Steve Gordon, with his left hand. Would have been one hell of a try, but yeah, mate, sorry, you're keeping it all together here. I'm spilling water all over these cords everywhere. I hope that's hope you don't go off here.
If you ever want a story, it's been a big news week for stories as far as the Newcastle Rugby league goes, and coaches going here and everywhere. Been a big fortnight as far as coach recruitment goes. Of course, Barney Miller off to Cessnock next season, and a few seasons after that. And Noel Dent has announced in the last few weeks that he's back at the Pickers. Of course, he won the 2010 grand final with them, and we'll know in the next few weeks the intentions of PJ Ellis. Of course, he's obviously playing his last game as captain coach here today for the Pickers. They're going to kick inside their own 40. It goes straight down to the full back end, Justin Smith. He's got Richardson on his right, but he goes himself and he runs straight into Jaden Rosberg. Speaking of Richardson, he offloads the ball now. This is Ryan Lamb, hard and straight towards the halfway line. That's where he's got the legs kicking to get up and play the ball quickly. This is the left-hand side of the field they come. Over the halfway line, down inside the 40. We've had 10 minutes here on the Bar TV scoreboard. We're locked up here in the first half. Back to the lock forward in Lucas Miller. He charges into Tyler Carter. He'll play the ball back now, 31 metres out. Wolford now sends it back to the right-hand side, back through the back line. Murray to Porter, back to Mannion. He looks to offload, but he says, no, I'll just take the tackle. And that's exactly what he's done. Wolford gets it back now to Porter. He's going to kick it in towards the in-goal area. They're at the back. They feel the football. They've got a bit of room in front of them, the Pickers, before the defence comes through there led by the Rosellas fullback in Justin Smith. So we're approaching the 10-minute mark here. 0-0 on the Bar TV scoreboard. We're coming live this afternoon from the Curry Sports Ground. Of course, this match was shifted up from Harker Oval. So this is a home game for the Western Suburbs Rosellas. Probably doesn't seem like it for them. As we said, if West lose to Maitland today, South are the minor premiers. They can continue on a roll all the way through the 80. They've got their minor premiership again. Ellis in a dummy half. They're going to kick just on the 40-metre line off the yellow boots. In to touch, the ball will go. Richardson sees it head towards the bunker, Josh, and they find touch 30 metres out from the Rosellas goal line.
It might be a West home game. I know it's obviously weird to have it out at Curry, but it's also weird to be out here and not hear them get called maggots as much. They're a lot friendlier today out here than they generally are to West sides.
Not many can throwers around as well. So usually it's a pretty hostile environment up here in Curry when the Curry Bulldogs are playing. But in saying that, I don't think many Western Suburbs fans have travelled up the Hunter Expressway to support their premiers. And of course a big crowd tuning in right now via the Newcastle Herald and the Bar TV website. We thank you for your support throughout season 2014. And of course, if you'd like to get in contact with the commentary side, as Robards there on his back, just getting up now, receiving a bit of treatment from the trainer, hashtag Bar TV Sports. Or drop Josh Leeson a line on Twitter and we'll get to your comments throughout the next 70 minutes as they unfold. As we mentioned, the Macquarie, they defeated Western Suburbs last week, won 26 points to 6. Souths, too good for the Maitland Pickers as well, as Robards now just comes back from behind the 40-metre line and he'll slot back into the scrum, and Ryan Walters will get play back underway. If you just tuned to the telecast, it's still 0-0 on the Bar TV scoreboard. You're with Peter Jolly and Josh Leeson. The Newcastle Rugby League for season 2014. As they approach the 40-metre line, you'll hear the whistle. There's the penalty to the Rosellas here. 10 metres inside their own half. And Brad Murray has the ball. 6 tries this season, 22 goals, a personal tally of 68 points. He's been with the club since 2011. Bangs it into touch and he finds the touchline. Josh Leeson, 10 metres inside the Pickers half.
Yeah, as you were saying there about Brad Murray, I think he's got to have a big game today. He was, I think he was well below his normal high standards last week against Macquarie. So, yeah, big game for him today, and I'd like to see him sort of, take a bit more control of this side, which is his opportunity now with Western tacking 20 metres out from the Maitland line. Yeah,
we've had 12 minutes here on the Bar TV scoreboard, looking for first points. Porter, he's got the ball. He throws the dummy. He's still going. He links up with Shillings. Shillings finds Gordon. Down he goes. 8 metres away from the goal line. 12 minutes gone here at the Curry Sports Ground. Back in the middle of the field to Tafua. He'll be hard to stop. Put away there by the captain, coach in Ellis. Quick play the ball away to the right-hand side of the field. With the ball now is Murray. Back it comes to Petro. He'll go close. Will he barge all the way? He's put down a metre out from the line. Last tackle now for Western Suburbs. Where's the kick? Will they throw it? It's going to be 1-2. Mannion kicking for himself. Gets the ball. Gets the try. Oh, what a try to the Rosellas. What a kick. What a chase. And got a bit of... They're down on personnel. But so far, they're not really down on spirit. They are matching it so far. West have just scored that opening try through the man with the football right now in Peter Mannion.
Peter Ellis is a very proud man. Pete, there's no way any side that he led would come out here and just roll over for another side. So I think they'll put a real good spirited performance in today, the Pickers, and I think they're showing that already.
Over the halfway line they go. Just looking at the compass. We're looking across to the northwest side of the field.
It's amazing looking over there. You can actually see some red and green shirts inside the Curry Old Boy shed. It's nearly unheard of.
It's a great facility over there as well. You're with us at the top of the hill. Through the middle of the field, out towards their 30-metre line. This is their 4 in Elliot Jennings. Big few weeks as well for the Newcastle Rugby League. We've got the NRL presentation evening on Wednesday, the 3rd of September. So it's the business end of the season for the Newcastle Rugby League. The Tui's Cup and, of course, the Illawarra Rugby League semi-final series is also on as we speak down there at Wynn Stadium as Callan Richardson just sees that Steedon football go over the sideline, 30 metres out from his own goal line. So 4 minutes gone. Not much in it. Both sides have had their fair share of opportunities. In Western Suburbs, they've just been able to capitalise after a just a bit of camaraderie going on there between the referee and the players. Just got time off here. Josh, did you quite see what actually happened and why we've got a stoppage in play?
No, I'm not sure. Actually, when he's come over, he's tried to blow the whistle and it sounded like he couldn't blow it. So I don't know if his whistle's blown out as well. He's had an absolute shocking couple of minutes then, Ryan Waters, if that's the case. But yeah, is he handing him another whistle? Yeah, I think he's handing him another whistle. So yeah, he's actually blown the P out of the whistle.
The P's blown up. His ankle's in trouble. But the strength of the man, he's just going to get on with it, and he does it all with a smile. And isn't that what you love? Newcastle Rugby League. Nothing stops the Newcastle Rugby League. Not even a P out of a whistle. Josh Leeson, this is Ellis. Let's see if the Western Suburbs Rosellas can knock the P out of the Pickers.
I know there's plenty of coaches in this comp who believe there's referees who love to blow the P out of the whistle, but I've never actually literally seen it happen. But he's only actually blown 2 penalties today, so it hasn't been used too much. So maybe he started off with a dodgy whistle.
Well, we know for one thing, there's not only one whistle in an NRL venue. Here's a penalty, this time going to the Rosellas here. We've got cameras positioned all around the ground here this afternoon. Production element of Bar TV. It's 1-2 set a standard in the competition for the viewers at home. Gone are the days where you just had your 2 position cameras in the grandstand. These days you've got to cover rugby league from every angle, and Bar TV leading the way as far as the Newcastle Rugby League goes with that sort of setup. Back to Finn, he charges into the defensive line and he's going to be dropped down 20 metres out from the goal line. This is Wolford, he sets it away now to Murray. Murray finds Tafua, will he get it back? He does. Murray sees the gap, goes towards it, offloads it, that draws in 2, finds Mannion, he's after his second try. Can't get it. A metre out from the goal line. Back to Wolford. He finds Porter. The 13 is Miller. Runs into Killen.
They certainly look most likely West on that right edge. That's where their real attacking weapons are, I think. Peter Mannion and Simon Williams.
This is where they come. Murray. The offload. Here's another penalty coming up to the Rosellas. Just got to keep it down. Bit of a high shot there, says our referee.
Yeah, high shot there from Clydesdale on Justin Smith. And yeah, fair enough penalty. That was certainly around the neck.
This is where they're dangerous. This is where they've got to capitalise. Back to Finn. He'll be hard to stop. He's on his back. Held up. So back out to the 10, tap restart. That was tackle number 1. Gee, they just look a bit bigger in stature, don't they? And a bit more determined. And as mentioned by the coach, attitude is your defence. As we see now, Wolford sends it to the right-hand side. This is where they're dangerous. Smith, oh, good up and under tackle. Under the rib cage there from the picker.
Yeah, Ryan Lacey, great tackle.
Yeah, Miller now. He storms onto the football. He's still going, Miller. He's going to be wrapped up. They don't put him on the ground. Plays the ball, numbers to the left-hand side of the field. Tafua will be hard to stop. Big Tafua. Wrap him up. A metre out. Wolford goes from dummy half. He'll be close. He's over. Wolford scores a try. The 23-year-old from Young. Former Melbourne under-20s. He joined the club back in 2011. He's the nephew of Simon Wolford. He gets the second try of the afternoon. The Rosellas lead 8-0.
Some great defence there by the Pickers. They were really under some pressure and they defended, quite admirably on their line. But in the end, just all became too much. A lot of the Tafua, I suppose, took a lot of defence out of them there. And then Wolford jumped out of dummy half and was able to burrow over. But, it makes it 8-0 to West with a kick to come. But certainly think with Maitland, with the amount of players that got out today, they can be proud of how they're playing. That's been quite a brave performance thus far.
Well, 10 minutes before the match, they only had 13 players. We went over and we were trying to get the team sheets, and the trainers are like, mate, whoever runs out there will be taking the field. We've got 13, but we don't know where the other 4 is going to come from. So here's the kick now. Brad Murray, booted home, 22 goals so far this season. He's crossed the line 6 times. Out to make it 72 personal points. He's done that easily. So the Western Suburbs Rosellas on a roll here. They lead by 10 points to 0. And so far they look like they may well hang on to their minor premiership for 2014. We've still got 60 minutes to go. If you're just a novice to the Newcastle Rugby League, or you just tune in occasionally, if West were to lose today to Maitland, the South Newcastle Lions would have finished in first place.
Yeah, it was quite incredible sort of outcome, because everyone was talking obviously before the weekend that Macquarie could have won the minor premiership by beating Cessnock yesterday. Of course, that didn't happen. They lost 36-30 to Cessnock. But then yesterday would have probably a shock scoreline. I thought South would win pretty easily, but the fact that they flogged Curry 62-10, which enabled them to have now a superior for and against the West, opened up the door for the Lions. But it's closing shut pretty quickly here with West looking like a lot more clinical than they have been in recent weeks.
With a back chat, they're going to be marched another 5 or 6 metres.
Well, you don't need that when you're only got 13 fresh men. Back-to-back penalty, especially for back chat. That's really going to make it tough for the Pickers.
Hashtag Bar TV Sports to get in contact with us here at the Curry Sports Ground as Jake Finn takes the tackle there of Nikau and also Carter. Plays the football. Wolford back to the right. Porter. Tafua. A metre out, losing the ball there. Did I see a tiny knock on?
Yeah, referee sent it too. It was good little tackle by Jared Smith. He's probably half the size of Mark Tafua, but he brought the big man down and he's forced the error too. So that's a real let-off there for Maitland.
Josh Leeson from the Newcastle Herald in the commentary bunker, as we like to call it, up here at the Curry Bulldogs. And of course you can get in contact with Josh on Twitter, Josh_Leeson, or hashtag Bar TV Sports. That's the Pickers, trailing by 10. 17 minutes out from half-time. 3 in the tackle there from the Rosellas. Of course, the Rosellas are going for their 3rd premiership in a row. Not since 97, 98 and 1999 has a club in the Newcastle Rugby League been able to fulfil that remarkable equation. Here's the kick downfield. Got a bit of room in front of them, haven't they? As they come back to the 40-metre line, just brushing off tackles, squatting them like flies. As we see now, the Rosellas on tackle 1-1. That is, of course, their fullback. Richardson got it from his opposite winger in Ryan Lamb. Out to the halfway line. Not going to ground. Gordon. 4 tries, 70 points. Leading point scorer for the Rosellas this season. Finn. Knocked down. We'll have a scrum. 40 out.
Starting to get a bit ominous for Maitland now, because West are really starting to get into that good grind. They're getting through their sets nicely and really starting to hit them up through the middle. So, West starting to really get back to that form they showed probably before last month. But also a big day, I think, for the halves pairing at Maitland, Clydesdale and Solomon, because obviously during the week, Noel Dent has signed 2 Kiwis, Steve Waitford, who's the New Zealand Warriors New South Wales Cup captain, and also Sebastian Luisi, who's played a lot of Super League football in the UK and is also a highly quality player. So they're both coming to the club next year to possibly play in the halves. So big day for Solomon and Clydesdale to make sure they're going to be a part of Noel Dent's plans in season 2015. So,
as Finn goes down to the 20, we've got another competition round going on at St John Oval. Central Newcastle lead Port by 10 points to 0 after 20 minutes of the play. Back here, it's West's 10, Maitland 0. And on the attack again, 10 metres out from the line. No Terrence CUCU at hooker today for the Maitland Pickers as Tafua. 5 metres away. Wolford goes from dummy half. Finn looking around. Options to the right. Where's the kick? They're going to kick it now. Ricocheted it off a picker, back to a Rosella. Now to Nickow, and he sets sail down to the 30-metre line. Well, that nearly came off everybody, Josh. Now they've got a penalty. 20 metres out from their own goal line.
Yeah, just what the Pickers needed there. That lucky little ricochet there and followed up into the hands of Dime Nickow, who's he'll be lethal if he gets in the open, but West were able to drag him in. But this penalty, they really needed that. All the plays been down Maitland's half of the field, I think, for probably the last 15, 20 minutes. So they definitely need to get up here and mount a bit of pressure themselves and maybe even get a try, hopefully, before the halftime break.
Full time in reserve grade this afternoon. West defeated Maitland 26-16. And out at Central defeated Port 44-22. That's in the reserve grade. Big win to the under-23s as well at West, 68-0. Up here a short time ago as well. This is Killen. Wolford downstairs. 21 metres away from the goal line. To the right-hand side they attack. This is Carter. Finn wraps him up. Along there with Murray. This is Ellis. Through the back line, spinning it from right to left. They approach the northwest side of the field. This is the 12 in Rosberg. Lassoed into the ground there by Gordon. Solomon kicking. Trying to do a Mannion, but the kick's gone too deep. Taken in goal by Murray. Back out to the 20. We've had 13 minutes here on Bar TV. There's a few interchange players about to come on for the Maitland Pickers as well. And it looks like our referee, Ryan Walters, he's continuing on. And he just restarts the tackle count there as we see now. Rosella's approaching the 40-metre line. Randall gets off him. Lamb plays the ball. Over the 40 line they come. This is Simon Williams. Craig Miller said high expectations at Wests. So can he deliver the Rosellas their 3rd premiership in a row in 4 weeks' time at the #1 sports ground? That's what's on the equation of everybody. As we see now, Williams, he sets sail towards Nickow. Beat him. Over he goes. Oh, Williams, he just took on Nickow. And he's gone all the way for the 3rd try for Wests. 14-0 with a kick to come.
He just showed exactly why I think he's the best centre going around in this competition by far, Simon Williams. He doesn't look that elusive, he doesn't look that quick, but when he's got the ball in his hands, he's surprisingly very hard to tackle. I think he's obviously built pretty close to the ground and is very stocky and strong, and yeah, just palmed off a couple of plays there, and then he's got surprising speed. So always that's the most dangerous part of the field for West on that right edge with Simon Williams, because I think he's a fantastic player, and yeah, a third try for Western. They're now 14-0 with a kick to come with 9 minutes left in the first half.
And this is it on the replay. Beat 1, beat 2, got rid of Jared Smith, still going. Came down to Nick Howe. He had support if he needed to throw it to Richardson or also Mannion, but he said, no, I'm going to take them all on and score a try, the third try for the Western Suburbs Rosellas here in the Tooheys Cup. Of course, this is round 18. We're at the Curry Curry Sports Ground. We're coming live from the bunker. You know, mostly commentary boxes are high elevated up in the grandstand. But it's a unique opportunity to call from the sideline. Players are running at you. Fantastic experience. Any closer, Josh and I would be probably flat on our back on the field. 10 metres out from the line. Here's the kick now from Murray. Looking to make it 74 points for this season. Just wide. So no change on the Bar TV scoreboard. 14-0. It's the Rosellas over the Pickers. 30 minutes gone here in the first half. And we'd like to thank everybody this season who has supported Bar TV throughout our inaugural season commentating the Newcastle Rugby League. And I'd like to thank Josh Leeson and the Newcastle Herald for allowing Josh to be a part of it. And, of course, Jimmy Gardner, who calls the Rugby League with Gareth, Rugby Union, I should say. They were in action yesterday. Here's the kick, tap back in. And Richardson picks it up and takes it back out to the 30-metre line. 14 points to 0. 9 minutes to go in the match. This is Tafua. 8 minutes remaining. Mannion. Only knows one way, Mannion. That's hard and straight, like he's been doing all season. Bar TV have covered a fair bit of the Western Suburbs Rosellas, and I don't think Mannion's let him down in any match that he's been a part of. This is Farah. Robards has been strong in the last few weeks as well for the Pickers. Backer comes now on the inside. This is where they're dangerous. Couldn't quite execute it. This is Smith, wrapped up there, 2 metres inside. The Pickers half. They're going to kick in towards the touchline. Didn't go that way. Goes straight into the breadbasket of Robards. And he takes a tackle there of the 16 in Liam McKenna. Country Rugby League logo on the ball as he sloppily gets to his feet. The referee just saying, we'll give a penalty to you, Mr. Robards. He says, I'll accept that. That's their third penalty of the match, and they've had to wait 32 minutes of it. And Ellis just having a little chat on the run to our referee, who looks okay after finding himself on the burnt grass earlier in the match as well. And if you just tuned in, he didn't have a whistle as well. As you can hear there, he's got another one. Whistle now. He's the whistleblower, our man out there in Ryan Walters, as the defence toughens up from the Rosellas, the defending premier. Back to the left-hand side. This is the 17ers with it. Out towards the 30-metre line. PJ Ellis, captain coach for the last time in this match. Solman. The 19ers with it. This is Nico Pete. 15 metres away from the line. Robards cuts out him. Finds Sidesdale. Now to Neckhow. Neckhow goes himself. Runs straight into Gordon. Ellis. Little fumble there. Captain coach has got the fumbles as Neckhow was playing it back. 7 minutes out from the break. 14-0 to the Rosellas. As we mentioned, need to win the Rosellas to secure their minor premiership. They haven't had a good run of luck, have they? Well, I guess you create your own luck, but what's the stat, Josh? They've only won one of their last 4 or 5, something around that. Hasn't been a great month, 6 weeks for the Rosellas, has it?
Yeah, one of the last 5 games, which of course was against the second last place, Lakes United. So yeah, they've lost to all the top 4, other top 5 sides in the past month as well. So yeah, it's been a bit of a worrying sign, but they seem to be getting back slowly to their best today. I certainly don't think they're 100% switched on, but it's certainly a huge improvement.
$12 short of the halfway. The winger goes to a scanner. Richardson. Chad Solomon gets off him. Over the halfway line they come. It's a good tackle there on the Shoulder of McKenna. Down to the 30 with 6 minutes remaining in the first half here. McKenna. Porter kicking. Chasing the ball is Gordon. He's coming through. Nick Howe. He's in the in-goal area. He beat one. So close from going over the Western touchline, but he did well. Down Nick Howe, of course, the son of the international. Tawara Nick Howe, the New Zealand international. The 5 is with it. This is Josh Morrison, highest point scorer for the Maitland Pickers. Josh Morrison, he's bagged 3 tries, booted home 32 goals. Also, pretty good effort as far as his personal tally. He racked up 76 points in 2014. Josh Morrison, their winger. 2 metres out from the halfway line now. PJ Ellis. What will he do come 2015? We know he's not going to be the coach. This is Robards. He'll be back. Halfway line, too short of his moppy, curly hair. Oh, kick now from Solomon. Heading towards the touchline, but it's gone out on the full. Gone out on the full, Josh Leeson, on the halfway line.
Yeah, there's only 2 minutes left on the clock. So that, 3 minutes on the clock, so they don't need that, Maitland, because it's opened the door here for West to possibly score one last try before half-time. Yeah, by the look of it, the kick was on the other side of the field from where we are, but it looks like it was easily out on the full. So, yeah, it's disappointing from Chad Simon.
Of course, wherever you might be listening to our coverage, we welcome you to the Curry Curry Sports Ground, whether you're at the Newcastle Herald website or Bar TV's page. This is Mannion. He's looking for his second. Still going. He wasn't held. He'll go close. He offloads the ball. Back to McKenna. He finds Murray. A metre out from the goal line.
Plenty of room out here on the left. They swing it wide quickly.
They've got to go that way, Josh. This is where they come. Porter, 3-on-2. Gordon slips over. Offloads. Was it touched by a picker? Yes, it was. 6 more tackles, says the referee. Bar TV pictures revealing that. Backer comes to the 11 in Shillings. He'll be hard to stop. Good second tackle now. 14 points to 0. Of course, this has all resulted from the kick going out on the full. Back there now, it comes across the field. Oh, they bombed it. You don't see that often, do you? But he's just bombed it there. 20 out from his own goal line, Jade Porter. Well, I guess the adrenaline got to him and he was trying to spin it towards the Johnny Sattler stand, but it's just gone straight through him.
Looked like he was thinking about where he was going to pass before he passed it. Actually caught it, sorry. But yeah, big let off again from Maitland. Again, there's been a few errors in this West side today. It's last week I think it was 53% completion, so which is absolutely terrible for any side, and you don't expect that from a side like West. But today, it's been better, but still there's been a few too many errors that I'm sure Barney Miller will be letting them all know about when they get back into the halftime sheds.
And credit to Maitland, just allowing 14 points in the first 38 minutes as well. Robards could have been a lot more.
Maitland have been very gutsy today. As we said, they've got a lot of players out, but they're certainly working hard. They're trying hard, and they probably haven't done too much with the ball. To be fair, they've kept it pretty tight, but they're defending well, and they're trying to get through their sets and at least mount a bit of pressure on West. But but I think class-wise, it's a bit of a mismatch, unfortunately.
I'd like to know how many times this bloke's got the ball in Robards. Here's the kick downfield, heading towards the touchline
again. That's gone out by a good 3 or 4 metres. That too. That's luckily for Maitland, the clock siren's about to go, so there'll be no pain for that. But certainly, the kicking out of dummy half's been a bit of a problem today.
And there it is. That is half time here on the Bar TV scoreboard. So the Western Suburbs Rosellas leading by 14 points to 0 as the teams go back to the dressing sheds over there on the Johnny Sattler sand. And 14-0, Josh. How have you summed up the first 40?
It's probably a pretty even scoreline considering the actual wealth of possession that West have had. I mean, they've had most of the ball. Most of the game's been played inside the Maitland half, and And Maitland have certainly tried hard, but yeah, I mean, they've pretty much been outclassed, I think. There's some really talented players on Western Suburbs' right edge in Peter Mannion and Simon Williams, and they've obviously had a bit of success there. West, their ball control has certainly improved on last week, and the way they're getting through their sets in the middle of the ruck is a lot better than it was last week, but still they're certainly not back to their complete best, but I think Craig Miller will be pretty happy with the improvement they've made, and hope they'll push on in the second half and win this game comfortably.
Well, of course, the big semi-finals, they start next weekend, and it's already started for the Illawarra Rugby League. Of course, it all culminates down there at Wynn Stadium in about 3 weeks' time. Just likewise up here, we have our grand finals at the number 1 sports ground. We might just go through Twitter. There's a few comments coming through. Jodie Harrison, the mayor out there at Lake Macquarie, she's been a staunch supporter of Bar TV throughout season 2014, and she's actually giving us updates as they come through from out there. And Jodie Harrison is just letting us all know that Central are playing Port today at the number 2 oval, as the number 1 oval is pretty much underwater. And you always get a laugh out of Jodie. She's brought the picnic blanket. She doesn't mind a drop or two of the red wine as well, just quietly. And I guess she'd be really enjoying the scoreline out there. Central leading by 10 points to 0. That was the last update we got from the mayor of Lake Macquarie as well. We might quickly go through other results in the Newcastle Rugby League as they unfolded before first grade today. Full-time in reserve grade, Central defeated Port by 44 points to 22. Full-time in reserve grade up here, it was West's 26 defeating Maitland 16. Full-time in the under-23s as well. It was a big score. I think it was around 68 points to 0 as well. That was in the under-23s. Full-time in the under-18s. Maitland, that was a close one. That went right down to the wire. Maitland got up by 15 points to 14. So big crowd out here at the ground as well. So it's fine, as Josh Leeson's just leaving the bunker and heading over to get a hot dog, as he always does, and a bit of a drink. Josh Leeson, he takes a shortcut too. He's the man in the NRL. He just goes straight across the ground, Josh. He's got every accreditation pass that you can think of. So if you're security, I don't think you'll be going to stop Josh Leeson. And of course, superb coverage from Josh and the Newcastle Herald throughout season 2014 as well. As you can see there, here he goes in his nice jeans, sporting his jeans as he walks across to the right-hand side of the field. It's not easy here at Curry. Of course, we're out of the bunker, but the flip side of that is that you're in the best spot in the house to broadcast and telecast a rugby league fixture. It's not often in this day and age where, you know, you can actually telecast from the sideline. And I guess it's a commentator's real nightmare going to these massive stadiums now. Yes, they're fantastic for players and they're fantastic for, you know, supporters. But as far as commentary goes, it's great to be in the outside doors, the outside box, you know, feeling the big crunching tackles, the effects, and we have that opportunity up here at the Curry Sports Ground every time we come up here. And we'd like to actually thank everybody for their hospitality up here, not just at the Curry Rugby League Club, but everybody, the strappers, the trainers, the coaching staff here at Curry have always made it a thoroughly enjoyable experience every time Bar TV comes up here, and we really appreciate what everybody does for Bar TV. And of course the Western Suburbs Rosellas are massive supporters of Bar TV as well. We're actually in there telecasting with them. We set them up with their own personal video replay machine, and they absolutely enjoy the coverage that Bar TV especially provides in the Newcastle Rugby League this season. And of course the list is just endless, isn't it? I mean, you know, we've been out at every training facility throughout the year. The coaches, the clubs have really welcomed Bar TV to the Newcastle Rugby League fold this year, and on behalf of the entire TV production crew here at Bar TV, led, of course, by Mark, Josh and Brendan. We thank everybody for their time and hospitality this year. We're not going to be broadcasting the Newcastle Rugby League semi-final series, but, we'll be back hopefully bigger and better in season 2014. And, of course, the pictures that you're seeing today have led, of course, there by Chardon, and he's got a lot of experience. He's been in the game for 15 years working at different metropolitan rugby league facilities, and we might just actually have a look at the 3 tries in the first half right now, actually, how it all unfolded as Josh makes his way back into the bunker. Just keep your eye on this play here from Mannion. Does it come any better than that? I don't think it does. He's a second rower. He's a representative player, chipping, chasing the ball. And this, of course, was the second try of the afternoon right here as well. They were on their line, the Pickers, and look at the burrowing run there from James Wolford. He's hailed from Young, came across to the Western Suburbs Rosellas in 2011. He played a bit of footy up in the Riverina area, and of course he played under 20s for the Melbourne Storm. And have a look at this individual solo effort from this bloke, Simon Williams. Just took his line on. He ran all over the cover. As we have a look on the replay again, just look at the big palm here into Chad Solomon. Stood him up, also stood up Jared Smith, beat Nickow, all ends up. And Nickow's no slouch at the back, and of course we've alluded to, the pedigree of the fullback, the son of the New Zealand international, Tawara Nickow, and he just beat him, all ends up. Well, as I was mentioning, the Bar TV, we're not going to be broadcasting the 2014 Newcastle Rugby League semi-final series, but it's been an absolute pleasure, I know personally, to be calling the Newcastle Rugby League just on a personal note. As a 6-year-old kid, still got the tape recorder set up in the big fig tree at Harker Oval, and that's how I sort of wanted to get into being a sports broadcaster. And hopefully those tapes and everything between then and now certainly will go a long way in the future for me to sort of make that dream come true as well. And then, of course, I've had a bit of luck over the years as well, telecasting the Newcastle Rugby League, the Jim Beam Cup, the Bundaberg Cup, the NRL, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be able to do that. Rugby League, it's a great game, and that's why we do it, to be able to bring you, the fans, the best seat in the house. And Bar TV has been a great supporter of me, and this man right here who's going to join me at the microphone, Josh Mason. Josh, I can't thank you enough, mate, for having me on board. I mean, I gave you a call last year from Alice Springs and said, mate, I'll come back from Alice Springs and call every match. And
that's
mate,
what we're after, Pete. The passion, mate. It's look, from our perspective, we've been stoked. We enjoy covering it. It's a fantastic competition. The standard of footy's it's right up there. If anyone hasn't been out to one of these games in these suburban grounds, it's the heartland of rugby league, and we're lucky. We're really, really privileged to be to doing what we're doing, and we hope that the fans and the coaches and the players enjoy the Bar TV coverage. I better get back up to the producer's box, Pete, so I'll leave you with it, mate. Good luck for the rest of the call, mate, and we love having Peter Jolly on board. He's top-notch.
I'll up that from 50 to 100 next time I see you, Josh. Josh, they're the founder, along with Brendan and Mark Priest, who is sitting back in his penthouse this afternoon, listening to the coverage here on Bar TV. And, of course, the Illawarra Rugby League Grand Final is only a few weeks away, and we'll be down there at Wynn Stadium bringing you all the action from the Illawarra Rugby League. Sean Timmins will be our special guest that day. 40 minutes to go in the Newcastle Rugby League for season 2014 as far as Bar TV is concerned. And the Maitland Pickers bring the football back. And this is them charging back like they've been doing oh so easily. Well, I think it's fair to say they have been making fairly easy meters when they have got the football so far this afternoon. Credit to PJ Ellis. He's got this side firing up. Of course, they're without Terence Siu, probably the most experienced player this year at the club. He played over 51 NRL games, and of course he played for the Knights and Manly and Cronulla. He made his debut, what was it, back in 2007 against the Bulldogs for the Knights, and spent a bit of time up at Cessnock before coming across to Maitland, but they're doing it without their hooker. And to be only down by 14 points to nil against the defending premiers, they're really showing a bit of ticker, the Maitland Pickers here. And they've come from their own in-goal area to be tackled just short of the halfway line. Here's the towering kick now off the boot of Clydesdale. Goes straight down the field. And Ryan Lamb, he has the ball. Try to get away from the kicker in Clydesdale, but Clydesdale says, come back here and I'll take you to ground along with their centre three-quarter in Randall, as the Rosellas now continuing to bash and barge their way out towards the 30-metre line. Robards is in there in the tackle. This is Lamb again. Turns it back on the inside, and who wants the ball this time? This is David Dryden. He'll get up and play the football. 2 metres out from the 30-metre line. They work the commentary side. This is the 4-inch Steve Gordon. He takes it towards the 40-metre line. He's dropped down now, 8 metres inside the half. Backer comes through the middle of the field. This is where they're continuing to bash and barge, and they've had success, so why not? Just keep it rolling, and success might come in the event of tries. They're going to kick it now off the right boot there. The ball's going to go downfield. Bouncing away, dribbling the ball, picketing up is Jennings. He's got support on his left, but he says, no, I'll just take the tackle in my last premiership game for season 2014, and he finds the dirt about 20 metres short of the halfway line. The five is with it. This is Josh Morrison. 3 tries, 32 goals this season, 76 points, as we mentioned, as the Pickers continue to roll it forward through their big guns, their big second rowers. Back from Ellis, the captain coach in his last game. You just tuned to the telecast. Noel Dent will be back at the helm next year. We're still not 100% sure what that man with the ball is going to do before he offloaded it to this man in Nickau. As we see now, Ellis again. Second year as captain coach, bangs it downfield, rolls between the fullback and the winger. Going away now come the Rosellas on their own 10-metre line, and they're going to be crunched in the tackle there from Ryan Lacey, who has also scored, Josh Leeson, 11 tries this season for the Maitland Pickers. How was the pie?
I went to the chicken burger today. They're quite good out here, Pete.
Recommend
I
the
do,
good old chicken burger? Josh Leeson loves his chicken burgers when he comes up to the Curry Sports Ground. And then, of course, Josh will also be at the Newcastle presentation evening in a few weeks' time on the 3rd of September.
Well, I better be now. I went and sold my Bob Dylan tickets just so I could be there. So better be a good spread on.
You'll need to get your $300 back somehow, Josh. You might even end up co-hosting. It wasn't last year the bloke knocked out 3 hours before, and you ended up doing that as well. So maybe history might repeat itself this year. As we see now, Nickau, he's got to throw the pass. Oh, and the Magpie nearly got knocked in the head. And they're back into the field to play the Pickers. 2 metres out, and here's a penalty from right in front of their post. Wow. There's the player down on his back as he just tried to get back up. Josh Morrison, gingerly to his feet. Nickau. But we've seen a lot of football this year. You know, we've seen a lot of Falcons this year, but how many times did a ball nearly hit a magpie? Unbelievable.
Yeah, but some weird things happened out here today. We obviously saw the referee go down with maybe a busted ankle, but he was okay, and then he blew the pee out of the whistle, which is only probably a minute or two later, and yeah. Magpie nearly cop a cutout pass in the head, so yeah, been an amazing old day. But yeah, those Magpies, they want to swoop. They got to look out for balls.
40 metres out from the line. This could be the penalty. Here it is. Twitter followers coming through. Just like to thank a few of our Twitter followers throughout the year. Amy Keller, especially. She's just saying, Josh, I hope you're enjoying your chicken burger. And, of course, Amy Keller is a big, passionate supporter of the Central Butcher Boys as well. So no doubt she'll be out there with the mayor, Jody Harrison, having a drop of 2. And back here, it's 14 points to 0 on the Bar TV scoreboard.
What do you reckon? Would Jody Harrison been drinking maybe Penfolds Grange 958 or something like that?
Do you think she paid for it?
No, I'm sure she has.
I think she has. Good lady, Jody. She's been a big supporter of the Newcastle Rugby League, and she loves her Butcher Boys. She's got a scarf that she wears passionately out there to St John's Oval. And it's very rare that you actually see scarves in the Newcastle Rugby League. I don't think many clubs actually go in for scarves, but I think Jody does. Here's a break now. Look at them go. Still going. And they're dropped down about 2 metres out from the goal line. It's on now for the Rosellas. They're going to kick for their winger. Where will it go? They've lost it out there. I think that's the 4 in Gordon. Just went straight through him, but he had an awkward bounce. You can't blame him out there. And just back to the Pickers, 10 out from their own line. I think, you know, if you're Craig Miller, he said that attitude is your defence, and he's not very happy with the side's attitude, and he mentioned he pins that right back to attitude. But I guess if you're a serious threat, he's just saying to his side, guys, let's just tidy up and let's just push forward. It's going to be a big 4 weeks ahead of us, and I want a dominating 40 minutes here heading into the final series of 2014. They're going to kick inside their own 30. This has got a bit of leather onto it. Ball will go towards the touchline. Could be a 40-20. Touch judge puts his foot on the line to signal where the ball's gone, and his touch flag goes up. And Josh, I think this possibly could be a 40-20.
Yeah, I think it is. I'm just waiting for the referee to make his signal, but it looks like he's going to give it.
Saying it's outside, did I hear him say?
Yeah, we're a bit low here at ground level. You can't really...
we might have a replay of that.
Can't always tell where the lines are, but yeah, it was
Mr. Producer?
Great kick there by Chad Simon anyway.
Not much in it. Here's the kick now. Let's just keep an eye as we roll it forward. He was well inside. He kicked it from the 20-metre line, but the ball went short of the 20-metre line just as the ball went into touch. Let's just keep an eye on this. Not much in it, but good call there from our referee here this afternoon, our touch judge officials in Greg Ryan and Greg Ricketts. Here's a penalty to the Rosellas here. Josh, 20 metres short of their own in-goal area.
Well, that's where they got to really got to get out of their game, Maitland, if they want to get back in this match, because they do some good stuff. A good set, finished off with a good kick, but then they give away an easy penalty just to piggyback West back out of their own half, and now West are going to be on the attack by the end of this set. So, if they really want to get back in this game, they're really going to have to cut that out of their game and really sort of focus and get through their sets.
Okay. They haven't been down this side of the field much, have they, in the first 7 minutes of the second half? Let's see if they can capitalise and put a smile on their coach's face. 40-metre line is where they are upended. Centre of the field. McKenna. Murray turns it back to the right-hand side. Ellis is in the tackle, one-on-one. Led there by the captain coach, the outgoing captain coach. Murray back to the one in Smith. Goes himself, Smith. As the Shadows cause havoc. 2 metres out from the goal line. Where's the throw? Here's the kick. Porter kicking. Nick Gow's back there. He cleans up for the Pickers, and he's back into the field of play. There by the fullback. Good effort there by the fullback, Josh Leeson from the Newcastle Herald.
I think you just noticed there what a difference having Justin Smith does for the West side, because he's been off now for probably about a month. Jeez, is that a penalty for a shoulder charge? Or
let's go in and have a listen.
He's given the ref a good spray there.
It's a shoulder charge.
Yeah, shoulder charge.
Shoulder charge. Just hang on a second. Penalty was for a shoulder charge. You're on that side. Yep. I had a clearer shot than you did. Hang on a sec. I don't expect then to cop that. Just be mindful of it.
Question,
yeah,
mate.
but just, no, that wasn't a question. He's got to be making an attempt.
Haven't seen so many of those penalties this year in the real NRL, Pete. Shoulder charge, I think might have been one yesterday. I think with the Isaac Briggs might have done one. But yeah, most of the year haven't really seen too much of it.
On the line.
Yeah, a bit of a.
Wait for it.
It's not really personally one of my favourite penalties. I kind of like to see the shoulder. Kind of like to see the shoulder charge remain, but yeah, but disappointing there from the Maitland. They've just cost it up on the first tackle. I mean, you really don't need that when they're trying to get out of trouble.
30 metres away from the line. They see the gap straight through the middle of the field.
Liam McKenna there. It's his first grade debut today, so it'll be a good confidence boost from the young man making a run like that.
Porter. Williams flicks it out the back to Richardson. He'll score. Richardson's in. Oh, what about the footwork? So close to the touchline, but he was able to keep himself in and score the try. Good one. That's the 4th try for the Western Suburbs Rosellas. 8 minutes gone in the second half. What a try by Richardson.
For Newcastle Knights fans, you would have seen plenty of them over the years, watching Matt Gidley get on the outside of his opposing centre and do a little flick pass to Manatahu. That's exactly what Simon Williams did just then. He got on the outside of the Maitland centre, flick pass to Callan Richardson, and he's over. It was I've seen him do that quite a bit over the last few years. They've got a really good combination, those two, and yeah, great try there from West. They certainly, as longer this game goes, the more switched on they're looking, and Maitland, those errors and penalties are really starting to add up for them.
Looks a bit like Gidley too, from the back, Simon Williams, and he offloaded the ball there, and look at that. Good try to finish it off. Brilliant flick from Simon Williams as we go down to our cameras positioned around the ground here at the Curry Sports Ground, taking you, the viewer, right as far as we can go into the action. Here's the kick from 20 metres out, 3 in from touch. Clydesdale hits it. It's coming back around. He's got it. What a kick from the sideline. Luke Clydesdale converts an absolute stunner. Did I say Clydesdale? Murray, of course. And he's now scoring the tries and kicking them. He's had a stellar of a match. As we mentioned there, Murray, 6 tries, 22 goals. And it's all happening here at the Curry Sports Ground. But one thing we do know, you're going to make this as accurate. Wests. Keep this up. They're going to be the minor premiers in season 2014.
Yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, I think that they deserve the minor premiership. Until this last month, they've certainly been the dominant side in this competition. I mean, back in April, May, June, July, they were playing much better football than any other team in this comp. So this minor premiership has been well deserved.
Of course, just tuned to the telecast from outside the Newcastle Rugby League area. Their coach that's led them to a few grand finals before this year is departing them and heading up to the Cessnock Go-Winners next year. So not only are they doing it for themselves and going on to hopefully win their 3rd straight premiership, but they'd be happy to take out the coach as a winner as well before he heads up to Curry. Just finding a football now.
Do you want me to get a comment here from the boys on the sideline? We're close enough.
Josh, who needs us, Mike, when you're this close to the action? It's pretty impressive, isn't it? Could you see yourself on the sideline calling each week?
Oh, I prefer it down here than up in the grandstand, to be honest. It's much better than standing a million miles away like you do at Harker Oval.
Definitely saves you from bringing the binoculars, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's good for my short-sightedness anyway.
Inside the 10-metre line. Josh has got his sunglasses on as well here today. Black, your preferred colour? Yes, 10 metres out from the line. Look at them go. Petro inside the 10. Quick play the ball needed. Here come the Rosellas. Back to Smith. He's going to put it on the toe. Flying through come the Rosellas. Pickers clean up and take it dead. Elliot Jennings takes a dead goal line dropout with only around 30-odd minutes to go in the match.
As I was trying to say before we had that try, just having Justin Smith back at fullback for West just instantly makes them appear a much more dangerous side. He's been out for about a month with a shoulder injury, and of course he was one of those guys suspended due to going out a night before a game. They're a while back and got injured when he was back in reserve grade. So he's back in the side today, and certainly making them look a lot more lethal with the ball.
Callan Richardson's right next to us here too. Just saying hello, Callan. How are you? Yeah, he acknowledges us. Good fella. 25 metres out is where they'll probably end up getting the football, and that's where they take the tackle. 15 in from the touch line. Back then out of Ryan Petro. Puts the shoulder into PJ Ellis. 23-year-old from Young. About to get the ball. That's James Wolford. 15 is with it. Dryden. Rosberg wraps him up. Plays the football. 20 points to 0. The Rosellas on a roll here at the Curry Sports Ground. Of course, Wolford, the nephew of Simon Wolford in the Canberra days of the hooker down there, the ex-NRL player. This is Williams, 2 metres away. 30 to go in the match. Murray kicking for himself. Metcalf puts the right boot out, traps it, bends down, picks it up, and the pickers have it here, Josh Leeson, up around their own 30-metre line. With only 28 minutes remaining in the contest, the Maitland Pickers coming into this match, they've averaged 28 points in attack, conceded 19 points. So as far as the facts go, they're conceded 20 thus far, and they're going to shoot towards the commentary bunker. And he just misses the cameras, but he was able to find his mark. And that's right on the halfway line. Just trying to get the ball back. Just halting in a play here. This is Ryan Lacey. Gives it to the prop. In Charlie. To be Charlie, of course, Peter Ratter was scheduled in jersey number 8. Didn't quite get his run. Pulled out prior to the match along with the man that was supposed to be wearing this jersey, the jersey number 9 in Terrence CUCU. And this is Jared Smith with the ball. Back to PJ Ellis. On it comes this time to Clydesdale. He finds Tyler Carter.
And luckily for Maitland, they do have a lot of options in the number 9 with Jared Smith and PJ Ellis, of course, hookers as well. But they've certainly lacked the the creativity and attack that Terrence brings. But hold the phone. Here's Jay Porter away after copying a knock-on.
He's got support left and right. He goes himself. He flies it over the top. Williams, he's after his second try. And he's got it. The Rosellas have gone 55 metres there. And that was a beautiful way to end their 5th try of the afternoon. 12 minutes gone, 24-0. Are the floodgates about to open?
Well, if they're about to open, if they're not opening, I mean, they're certainly under a lot of pressure at the moment. But because we've got 23 minutes to go in this game, and it's looking increasingly likely the West are really going to rack up a good score here.
Well, where do we start the replay of this try? I reckon we started up around the 30-metre line. That's where it all started for the Western Suburbs Rosellas because of this mistake. And who was there to pick it up? Yep, you betcha. You know who that is. We don't need to remind you who that is. He was saying, come on, I'm not going to be able to go all the way. I need support. Where's my support? Williams said, here you go. I'll finish it off for you. Bingo. Over he goes. 5th try of the afternoon.
I think he gave up a bit there, Jade.
Ran out of gas.
The old freaky should be able to run faster than that.
The legs didn't want to take him anymore. What's going on with that? Here's the kick.
But he'll enjoy that there, Porter, because he spent a lot of time at Maitland. He helped them win 2 premierships and started for them in both those seasons. So, he would have enjoyed being able to help out and lay on a try for his new side.
Here's Murray. 6 minutes ago, he nailed one from an identical position. It was probably a lot harder, his last kick. This one's 15 metres in from the touchline. Moves in, strikes it. Looks okay off the boot. It's coming back around. It's straight over the blue dot here at Curry Sports Ground. This is round 18. This is the first grade division. This is the Newcastle Rugby League. Welcome along to Bar TV's coverage. Western Suburbs, 26. Maitland yet to score here. And back to halfway line we come. Over at St John Oval, it's the Butcher Boys leading the way by 20-odd points to 0 over Port Stephens, and a lot of speculation about the future of the Port Stephens Sharks for next year. I understand that if they haven't already, they're about to go in, Josh, and have a chat to Matt Harris about what they'll do for season 2015. Interesting times ahead for the Nelsons Bay franchise.
Yeah, what's even more worrying, I think, is the fact that they've probably got 5 of their senior players, 5 of their players who, quite frankly, probably only 5 players they've got that are really would make any other first-grade side in this competition. They're all indicated probably going to be retiring, and I mean, like Joel Osborne, your Willie Palaos, Trent Green. I think Kyle McCarthy, the hooker, is going back to Wagga Wagga, where he's from. James McCabe, also believe, is looking to retire. So if that's true, that's going to be a huge concern for the Sharks, because their playing stocks are very thin at the best at the moment. So to lose those 5 guys would be catastrophic for the club, I think.
And interesting for Matt Harris in his board of directors to figure out what we do next year. If that does go that way, do we bring in another club for maybe a Singleton or up somewhere from up that way, or do we just keep on going with what we have?
My understanding is with Singleton, I think a couple of years ago, Singleton expressed interest in wanting to join the real NRL, but the fact that they are part of Group 21, which only has 3 or 4, maybe 4 or 5 sides, I'm not totally sure, but it's only quite a small competition, and to lose Singleton would just about kill that comp. So that's probably why Country Rugby League is not ever going to allow Singleton to join the Newcastle competition, even though they would like to. So I'm not really sure where the options are. There's, do you go to the Central Coast? We've done that before with Wyong, and that it kind of worked, but it wasn't really that popular. I don't think anyone really ever accepted Wyong in the competition. They never really felt a part of the comp. Where else do you go? You agree to Branxton, probably aren't a big enough club to be in the real NRL. You go to Raymond Terrace, they've been there before and struggled. I think keeping Port Stephens in the competition is probably the best option, but yeah, it's certainly a worry because we really do need a 10th team, let alone keeping the 9 we've got at the moment. So we really can't afford to lose the Sharks, and I think it would be terrible if we did. But yeah, it's certainly going to be difficult, I think.
Lucky to keep having the football here, the Rosellas. I don't think the Fua got a boot to that ball as he was playing it. Referee turned a blind eye. 17 minutes out from full time. Mannion couldn't get the ball. Comes back to Williams, looking for Richardson. Doesn't give it to Richardson. Gives it to a Pickett. He's going to be close to the touchline. Richardson was in there in the tackle. But yeah, it's a big debate. Going to be definitely a solid discussion for the Newcastle Rugby League. What do they do? Of course, if they do go the way without the Stevens, we'll come back to even Stevens as far as the competition round goes. But I think for the success and for the future, we need to find ways that we can actually stabilise this competition even more. And that's a big part of rugby league up there, isn't it? Up through Williamtown and, of course, Raymond Terrace, another area, and of course the Nelsons Bay people. I know that one thing they probably want to have no longer a club in the competition, but I guess another question is too, Josh, and I think we're seeing a little bit here as we stick with the play. Nick Howe's got the football. He's away. He got away from one. He's got support. Richardson can't get him. He offloads the ball, and Lacey goes over. Oh, Ryan Lacey, he picks up his second try. No, well, I was going to mention his second try. He got one last week, and he got his second try today. That's his 12th try this year, and Lacey's just done it all himself.
Yeah, fantastic try. Sort of a little offload there by Jared Smith, I believe, and he's put Dime Nick Howe into the gap, and he's undoubtedly, I think, Picker's #1 attacking threat. And you could see the winger Lacey coming up, and he sort of slowed down. He moved over towards him, and then got an offload away under a lot of pressure. And then Lacey had a bit of work to do as well. He had to step back inside and finish off. But good try from Maitland. Unfortunately, it's not really going to make this game any more exciting. So I don't think they can come back from here. But it's certainly nice to see them get on the scoreboard.
We've seen a good few tries, haven't we, this afternoon? Of course, I don't think you can go past the first try of the match to Peter Mannion and that beautiful flick pass from Williams to Richardson, and now the Pickers have been able to score their first points of the afternoon. As we look at the official score clock, we've got 16 minutes to go in the match, and the 14's going to have the option to convert it, and that's Tyler Carter right out on the touchline.
But we saw in back play, West player Mark Farrell went down clutching his face. He's still standing there with the trainer. I'm not sure if he's hurt his jaw or something like that. But he's still hasn't returned to his. He's still looking a bit ginger, so I'm not sure if he's going to keep playing on. But seems he will. But yeah, he's still shaking his head, so I'm not sure what's the problem there. But we'll have to check that after the game. But yeah, good try from Maitland. And for West, I think Barney Miller's going to want them to make sure they keep their defence on song for these last 15 minutes. He won't want any easy tries going into the final series. So, of course, West will have a week off now with the minor premiership and meet the winner of South and Macquarie for first spot in the grand final. Interesting.
4 weeks to go. Jason, one of our followers at Burke65. Come on, Pickers, do it for Souths and every other team that is sick of Wests. They're your passionate fans in the real NRL. They don't hold back, that's for sure. They just say it as they see it. As the scrum is going to be fed here, 10 metres away from the goal line.
Oh, there's no doubt that I think every other supporter of this competition, bar anyone from New Lambton, will be going against the west side. But there we go. Justin Smith, he's cut right through. That was probably too easy, really. But yeah, good turn of pace from Justin Smith, who I think is probably nearly the quickest player in this competition. And he's left a couple of Pickers players just hanging out the washing, quite frankly.
Good day for washing. Sun's out, but not enough for the Pickers. They probably just hoped that it was a cloudy day, it was dark, and they could all go home and end their season. We've got 15 minutes remaining in the match, and as Josh mentioned, Justin Smith just sliced through the gap and went all the way, and Brad Murray, well, he knows how to kick them from this part of the field. He's had two from an identical position before this one. As you can just see there, the Pickers just counting down now towards their Mad Monday in the real NRL. Maybe it could be a mad Sunday night. Maybe they'll head back to their local and relive the highlights and the lowlights of this season. Here's the kick from the sideline. Can he bring it back around? No, he can't. So the kick unsuccessful there from Brad Murray. But the Premier, the minor premiers, the defending premiers, you name it, seems like West have been everywhere in the last decade or so, minus a few years in between. Have they hit the reset button? Are they about to come back? Have your own opinion. I think the Pickers have just fallen off a little bit slightly.
Yeah, it's hard to judge if this is like the rescuing of West season or not, because quite frankly, Maitland are a lot less of an opponent than who they're going to be facing in the finals. Well, Maitland of today is certainly anyway, with all the players they have missing and in fact they have no fresh reserve. So I mean, West is certainly going to face a lot tougher task against either South or Macquarie, who they'll face in the first in the major the qualifying semi-final. So. I'm not sure if we can read too much into this performance today, only to say that they're certainly better than they have been. But, yeah, fair to say, compared to last week when Macquarie absolutely belted them and put in a really quality first half, it's been pretty easy for West today.
And in the other match, Josh, we've got the Cessnock side playing Central, don't we, next week?
Yeah, elimination final. That'll be at St John Oval, I think, on the Saturday. I haven't had that confirmed yet, but I think that's what's going to happen.
That'll be a ripper.
Well, yeah, I think, first time Central's been in the final since 2008, so there's plenty of excitement there at the club that they've, put together a pretty decent roster and they're playing some good football. I was up at Cessnock yesterday. I watched them beat Macquarie 36-30, and Cessnock, they're playing some really terrific football. Just the way the Brown brothers were clicking yesterday, and they're going to really be hard to beat, I think, in the finals. The way they're playing, and their forward pack was really, really strong yesterday too. So. I know Kerrod Holland's going to be missing for probably might be out for the season, depending if he gets his appendix out or not. So that's a bit of a loss for them. But yeah, Cessnock, for me, I think they're my dark horse at the moment to win the comp. I really think that they could really go through and really cause a lot of damage in the final series.
30 metres away. Of course, the grand final at the #1 sports ground where we have it every year in the Newcastle Rugby League competition. Bar TV, been a great year for us, telecasting the Newcastle Rugby League. I'd like to thank everybody from the Newcastle Rugby League and all the fans through social media. There's been quite a number of you. We appreciate all your feedback, and of course we've had over 145,000 views of videos across the whole spectrum since March this year. An incredible effort. Grassroots TV live streaming at its best here throughout the Hunter. And clubs throughout the entire state are quite envious of what the Newcastle Rugby League has got. I know Bob Millward down there at the Illawarra Rugby League, he just said to us throughout the last few weeks, we were pretty envious of what the Newcastle Rugby League has got as far as pitches go for the live streaming and the judicial purposes. So the Illawarra Rugby League is hoping that they'll be on board the bandwagon next year, as long with a few other group competitions across the state as well. I'm hearing, as we see now, Rosellas take it inside the 10-metre line. 5 metres out from the in-goal area. Lost the ball there. He's in the mud, like a pig in the mud.
Yeah, he hurt himself here, Brad Murray. It's on the far other side of the field from where we're sitting, so it's a bit hard to tell, but clutching an arm, potentially.
Gee, keep an eye on this. You wouldn't want this heading into the final series. If your halfback is going to be injured like you're seeing right there, he's clutching towards the wrist.
Yeah, something definitely looks bad there. You can see his face. It looked like he was in a lot of pain. So, yeah, if he's hurt his wrist quite badly, that could be huge for Western Suburbs because they rely on him quite a bit. He does. He's their main organiser in attack. And he's been in good form for most of this year, Brad Murray, so it could be a huge loss.
As we see now, the attack continuing. Smith kicks it off the left boot, kicking towards the in-goal area. Was he taken out? Pickers in goal. Going to be forced in goal. Goal line dropout coming up here for the Maitland Pickers. But yeah, is he still playing on? Has he gone to the touchline?
Well, it looks like he might be walking off. I'm not sure, but he's turned the trainer away. But he looked like he was actually holding the top of his arm more near the shoulder. So yeah, certainly want to check out in the dressing rooms post match, Pete. But yeah, if he's playing on, so that's a good sign for West fans.
And if there was any injury concern, I think their experienced coach would have taken him straight off by now.
Well, I mean, yeah, the game's well and truly over. I don't even know why he's playing on now. I'd be off too and get some ice on that and get him ready for the semi-final because there's a lot more important football to come than today.
This is McKenna, Wolford, Porter, lock forward. This is Lucas Miller. Picked up and driven into the ground there by Metcalf. 7 minutes to go on the official scoreboard. Dryden. Wolford. Just sends another try, possibly. Smith. Williams. Can he flick this? Ball carrier is wrapped up. James Wolford. Will they kick across field? No, they're going to kick it in towards Nick Howe. Tremendous effort by Nick Howe. He's back into the field of play and out. The Pickers now scoot out towards their 30-metre line. Good return now through Ryan Lacey. Takes the shoulder there of Wolford. Playing the ball back to the right-hand side of the field. This is Jaden Rosberg. Straight up the middle of the park comes the second rower. Ball played back now. Over the 40 line they come. Solid defence there by Tafua and two others, led there by Dryden as well. And also over the top was Steve Gordon. They approach the Sattler stand side. The three is with it. This is Randall. Takes it down 2 metres out from the Western touchline. Ball comes back into the middle of the field. They're going to bang it downfield. The ball goes sailing down, bouncing to Richardson. Picks the football up. He's got his number 2 in front of him in Ryan Lacey. As there's another injury concern back here on the halfway line for the Rosellas. We'll just try and pick up the number plate. There he is right now on your screen. As we see now, they come towards the 30-metre line, the Rosellas. Here they come. There's about 6 minutes to go in the match.
Yeah, I think Brad Murray's going off now. He's looking ginger again.
Yeah, he's going to call it up here, the ref. There's Gordon on your screen now. The 6 there is Chad Solomon from the Pickers. The referee in the middle, of course, Ryan Walters. What a day he's had. A memorable moment for the referee. If you just tune to the telecast, he lost his whistle. He blew the pee out of it. He tripped over, did a bit of an ankle, but he just keeps on marching on.
See, Brad Murray's going off now, Pete. So, yeah, he's obviously in a bit of pain. He's holding his arm or something there. So, I don't think we'll see him back today with only 5 minutes to go. But, yeah, that could be a bit of a worry for West going forward because, I do have a few options at half. I mean, obviously Jade Porter's played a lot of halfback, but they certainly don't want to be losing Brad Murray at this juncture in the season.
If they lose him, don't know if they'll be there on grand final day. Gee whiz, that will be a big bummer to Craig Miller and every Western Suburbs fan. As we know, Cessnock are on a roll. Souths have been playing good footy. I think it's anyone's pick. It's a wide open competition. Not sure about the Rosellas. I guess they've got good forwards and they're the #1 competition front runner for many a year. But gee whiz, it's going to come down to Brad Murray possibly, because it's a wide open competition. Let's see now what happens. They approach the halfway line. This is only their second win in 6 matches as well for the Rosellas, heading into the final series as Finn sends it back to the right-hand side. This is where they're dangerous. Porter, he's got support. Down he goes in the tackle there, and Metcalf. He'll play the football when he gets up. That's what he does now. Plays it back, rolls it between the legs there to Smith. He sends it back to the left-hand side. They've got numbers this way. Where will it come this time? Mannion, can he flick? He's been dangerous. He's been elusive all match. Back slammed into the ground there. 15 out from that Western touchline. He'll get up and play the football now. Who wants it now? That's Mr. Yellow Boots. He fires it away, Gordon. Here's the big up and under. We'll look for the wide shot. There it is. They go up. They come down with it. Tremendous catch there. Was that Ryan Lacey, Josh Leeson? I think it was the winger out there.
Yes, it was, yeah. Yeah, he's been solid all year, Ryan Lacey. I've been quite impressed with both the Maitland wingers, Lacey and Josh Morrison. Both scored a lot of tries between them and been very safe. So, they've had good seasons.
There's only 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining on the official scoreboard. This is Robards. Puts the big palm into Simon Williams. And Finn's over the top. Plays the ball back. PJ Ellis. In his last few runs as captain coach for the Pickers this season. Is it his last few runs? Will he be back next year? Have you heard anything, Josh?
Well, he told me probably a couple of weeks ago that he wanted to play on, and speaking to Noel Dent, he says that he wants to play on, so I expect he'll play on. I think he's still got plenty to offer the club, and I think he was just saying that, the whole coaching responsibility was probably getting a bit too much with a young family, so he was happy just to turn up and do his training and play, and not have to worry about all the other things you do when you're coaching a side. So I think you probably might even see PJ Ellis get back to his best if he doesn't have the burden of coaching on his mind as well. So I think because Maitland, they probably haven't they've struggled a bit under his captaincy captain coaching. They've missed the finals the last 2 years, and before that they had made the finals for a couple of years straight. So I think with Noel Dent back at the helm next year and some good imports in Steve Waitford and Sebastian Luisi, I think Maitland will be back in the top 5 next year.
This is Finn, Josh. Look at him go, breaking free of tackles. He comes down to the fullback. No fullback in support so far. Fullback coming across, but it's not the fullback, it's Jennings. And he takes the tackle. They've got to go left. They've got a try coming. They're over. That's the try in the corner for the Rosellas. And that just was pure and simple class and pure perfection.
Oh, great run by Jake Finn. They call the man the fridge, but I haven't seen a fridge run like that before. But he was in the clear and very hard to stop. But it was a great cover tackle there from the Maitland player to bring him down. But you're never going to stop Western Suburbs from then scoring. But Jake Finn, he's a great player. He's played country, and he's also was the man of the match in last year's grand final. So he's been pretty good all season, to be honest. Jake Finn, and look at him go. He's a hard man to stop. He's built close to ground and built like a brick, what the saying goes. And, very strong.
And this is how it unfolded. Look at this. In he goes. Got down low, went in untouched. And that's pretty much all she's going to write here this afternoon. We're looking at the scoreboard. Only 1 minute and 13 seconds to go. So the Western Suburbs Rosellas, they've been able to pick up the 2 competition points and claim the minor premiership in 2014. Let's await to see what the final score is. Will it be 34-4 or will it be 36-4? Here's the kick now, coming back around. He's got it. What a kick to finalise your last premiership round with a conversion from the touchline. And it's a stunner. Went straight over the blue dot up here at the Curry Sports Ground. And we're in the dying stages of the match now. 19 seconds to go in the match. The Pickers, their last restart of the year. They bang it downfield. What's the Rosellas going to do? The ball bounces off the pad into the in goal area. This is the 6 in Porter. He's going backwards. He'll be looking to go forward in the next 4 weeks and hopefully come away with their 3rd straight premiership. But that's full time in the Newcastle Rugby League after round 18. The Western Suburbs Rosellas have defeated Maitland by 36 points to 4. Well, there you go.
Yeah, probably a true reflection of the game. I think that scoreline, West were far too good for a depleted Maitland side, to be fair. I mean, losing Terrence and losing their other top prop, George or Peter Ratta, was always going to be hard for them. And really, that didn't have a great deal to play for. West have plenty to play for in trying to wrap up their 2nd straight minor premiership, as well as overturn a bit of a form slump in the last month. So I think, yeah, West people will be pretty happy with that. But I think the big story coming out of this game is going to be the fitness of Brad Murray. We see him right now. He's still holding that arm, that left arm, very gingerly. Lucky for them, they've got a 2-week break now before they'll play the winner of Macquarie and South for the spot in the grand final. And if they win that game, they'll get another week off. So probably not a bad position to be in. They've got plenty of times to lick their wounds and get over it. So, but should be a cracking final series, Pete.
It will be a sensational final series, and of course tickets are available now through Pro Ticket. I think you'll find the Newcastle Rugby League are going through them this season, and there's a few different categories as well for the upcoming 4 weeks as well. So it should be a cracker of a contest, and mate, as far as Bar TV goes, it's been a cracker of a year. And the final score, West 36, Maitland 4. Well, that pretty much wraps up the entire season as far as the Newcastle Rugby League goes here on Bar TV. If you've just tuned to the coverage, Bar TV coverage comes to an end in the next few minutes. But on behalf of the entire Newcastle Rugby League, I personally would like to thank Matt Harris and his board of directors for giving Bar TV the opportunity this year in telecasting Rugby League to the fans. The fans have reacted. They love the product, and that's just testimonial to all our fans who have clicked on. Over 150,000 views. We've got over 5,000 Facebook likes, and the fans love it. The coaches love it. The judiciary love it. And bigger pictures ahead, of course, for Bar TV after this week. If you love your rugby league, stay with us, because we've got a stack of other sports coming up over the next 3 weeks, all culminating as well down in the Wollongong for their rugby league grand final in 2 weeks at Wynn Stadium. So if you don't really know much about the Wollongong Rugby League, I urge you to get on board Bar TV and check out their rugby league grand final. It's pretty passionate, just like the Newcastle Rugby League grand final. And Josh, of course, Josh has joined us many a time this year. Josh has had a few burgers, he's had a few waters, he's had a few Cokes in the box. I think you've loved it. I think you've enjoyed every moment, Mr. Leeson. I think you have. I'm pretty sure you have.
No, it's been great, mate. I appreciate getting the opportunity to come on and have quite a bit of fun and call the games. But, yeah, it's been great, Bar TV. I think they're doing great things for the Newcastle Rugby League, and hopefully it'll continue next year, mate. Yeah,
we'll find out in November, Josh, when everybody goes in and has their say. As we see now, the last throw of the dice here for the number one, Nick Howe. He's just walking up the steps, finding a few autographs too, with a few of the young fans that are hovering around him as well. So, been a good year for the former New Zealand Tawara, Nick Howe's son, of course, down Nick Howe. Just getting a few slaps on the back. So the off-season is about to approach. Sunday, it's all over. They're off to the pub, probably have a few quiet ones and reflect on the season. Well, Josh is off to the sheds now, and of course you'll be able to hear about his wrap of this match and every other game across the weekend in Monday's edition of the Newcastle Herald. So we appreciate Josh throughout the year, and good luck for the off-season as well, Josh.
Great, thanks, Pete. It's we're into the cricket, so no off-season for me, unfortunately, but we'll keep going.
Just keeps on rolling.
Yeah.
Definitely, mate. Well, hopefully we'll get to see you next year as well. And of course, you know, everybody this year, it wouldn't be a coverage without the volunteers that have been able to come into the broadcast box. You know, the big Swede. We had Rick Stone, of course, at the beginning of the year. The Newcastle Knights coach next year. He joined Bar TV. Swede Dunstan and everybody that has been a part of it. And, of course, Nathan Ross, the Newcastle Knights fullback. He joined our commentary side a few weeks ago as well. So we'd just like to endorse everybody that has been a part of Bar TV in season 2014. No doubt there's bigger pictures ahead. You know, we always want to work for the best. We've enjoyed doing this for you, Australia. And, you know, with the talented team that we have, we'll be back bigger and brighter in coming weeks. You won't miss a thing when it comes to grassroots rugby league. Well, on behalf of the entire team, we're about to sign off for the last time in 2014. Until we meet again, it's bye for now.